Welcome to the Only Maids podcast. Now your hosts from Dallas, Texas, Nikki and Misty.
Hey y'all, my name is Nikki. I'm the owner of Beyond the Dust Cleaning and Organizing in North Texas.
And I'm Misty. I own 316 Impact Clean LLC in DFW.
Nice. So welcome to Only Maids podcast, you guys.
Welcome.
This is our first episode. Are you excited?
I am excited. Yes.
I poured us a glass of champagne.
Yes,
Cheers.
you did. Cheers to
Toast.
first one.
Episode 1. Let's do it. So what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk out with the background story of the word MAID.
Oh, Lord. MAID.
The M word. And how people feel about being called a MAID, where it originated from.
The M
I feel
word.
insulted.
I was just going to ask you, how do you feel about the M word?
I feel a little insulted with it.
There is a lot. It's like a dirty word in our industry, in our community.
Yes.
People don't like it.
They don't. Now, I do remember the first time I was called a maid. And so this lady's like washing machine broke in her house and it was flooding her laundry room, right? And she's screaming like, Jim, go get the maid. And I could hear her from across the house. And I was like, oh, Lord, is she talking about me? I just thought, what does this woman think I am? You know?
A maid.
Yes. And so I run in there and clearly she needs a plumber, not a maid, because she was flooding everywhere.
Oh, no.
But, I was very insulted then, and that was a while ago. Now I'm just at a point in life where I just don't think I care what other people think. So it doesn't bother me as much anymore. But it still is a dirty word because maid is considered a dirty job. It's for like the peasants, because that's what it was in Europe, in Africa. It was for the second class citizens.
That's very true. I think that's important to get into the context and history of the word.
The etymology.
The etymology of the word maid.
The etymology. We may not be.
You have a quote, don't you?
I do have a quote.
Let's check it out.
So, the word maid is a shortening of the English word maiden, which really actually referred to a young woman who was unmarried, unwed, and that was your maiden, and she became the maid. So
right.
That's where it came from.
So that definitely makes sense. That's very gendered.
It is very gendered.
And
men cannot be a maid or a maiden.
Right.
But they can be a cleaning technician.
And there's so many of them. And they're often overlooked. But yeah, I feel like the word maid doesn't apply anymore. There's no space for it, really. I mean, it's an old, outdated term.
Yes.
It referred to women specifically.
It did.
Like you said, working as they tended to work, women of lower socioeconomic status.
Yes.
Worked in houses. And pretty much
took care of the kids. Yes, that's what we would call a house manager of today's
right.
World would call it a house manager.
Right.
But she would oversee. Well, I guess they probably had it differently. They probably had more than one on staff.
Oh, okay.
And so you would probably have I know there was, you would have at least one that was like your head maid, which would today, I guess, would be the house manager.
Right.
That would oversee the duties of the other maids in the home.
Right.
So
that makes sense. Yeah. But just in the 21st century, the word is just, I feel like it's not really relevant.
I feel like you're right. It ran its last course probably in the 50s when I think of the Brady Bunch and Alice.
Right.
She was a good maid.
Yeah,
and she was definitely the maid.
I think she's an iconic maid.
Yes. She was not the housekeeper, not the cleaning technician. What else was there?
A maid. Cleaning technicians, housekeeper, house cleaner.
Oh, cleaning professional.
Cleaning professionals is one I like.
So let's go ahead and go through the differences of what we think all of these things mean to us and possibly to you.
Right. So we discussed what maid is. We have that pretty down packed. You know what I'm saying?
I hope everybody understands. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So maid compared to, let's say, a house cleaner in 2023.
Right.
Maids, not so much. You don't really see that going on. Well,
no,
you have your nannies.
They refer to themselves as the resetters
Resetter.
I think the resetters, and there's another word.
Mother's helper.
Yes, mother's helper.
I see that one often.
Yes, mother's helper.
I see that. I see that as a service offered often. Mm-hmm. And like you said, they go into the house and pretty much do anything to help out. And I feel like that's what the maid was doing back in the day.
Yes.
Pretty much anything for the upkeep of the entire home in its entirety.
Well, I feel like back in the day, the maids, they didn't actually they did all of it. They didn't help. They took on all of it because they were the second class citizens. You were not going to have your lords and these people that were first class citizens. They were not going to wash their dishes. They're not the ones preparing the food. Right. They want to sit at the table and be served. They're not sweeping their floors. They're not even emptying out their little, what is that thing, the bucket by the bed, because they didn't have toilets. What did they call that thing?
I'm not familiar.
It's a pea pot.
Oh, Lord.
It's a pea pot.
I don't remember this in history class.
Oh, yes. They didn't have, it's their bedpan. Yes,
oh, my goodness.
Bedpan. That's what it is.
Bedpan.
Yes. So they would have bedpan sitting next to the bed on the floor.
The maid empty the bedpan?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
Empty the bedpan. And so, if you had to use the restroom in the middle of the night, sometimes you just don't go to the outhouse. You go to your bedpan next to your bed.
And leave it for the maid in the morning. That is horrible.
When you think about it like that.
And so you don't even without all of this history and context, you're wondering why we don't like the word maid. Well, now I'm sure that I don't like it.
It's the bedpan that does it.
Definitely. So that's definitely a totally different scope of work.
It is.
Than anything that we have to encounter as house cleaners today in 2023.
Nurses deal with that. Not the nurses.
Yes, I feel like the maid, the term maid as we know it, is like a bunch of different jobs.
It is.
Well, now it's been turned to a bunch of different separate jobs.
It is, but I think it's very tightly close to the nanny and her duties. Not only is she responsible for the children of the household, but she also does a lot of just the daily task of what mom does, which is kind of like today that falls into like a maid service, you know, helping mom around the house, whether it be dishes, laundry, making the beds, of course, like preparing meals, cleaning up after breakfast, going and getting the kids and, all that stuff. That's kind of what I feel like a maid is now compared to like years ago where it actually originated from. Right. Yeah.
So then housekeeper. So what's your distinction?
So for me, when I think of a housekeeper, that is someone or house cleaner, to me, they're kind of like the same, but they go in and they're going to be the people that are going to be scrubbing your toilets inside and out. Getting down and dirty in your house with the grime, the baseboards. It's not your everyday daily task of chores.
Yeah. And that's important.
Right.
That's what I feel like. So cleaning professionals, cleaning technicians, all of them today, I think it's safe to say that it's simply somebody who earns money cleaning, whether it be residential or commercial, but who goes in strictly to clean.
That's it.
Strictly to clean.
That's it.
And
we're not doing your laundry.
And leave. No laundry, no dishes, no pet sitting.
No, we are not pet sitting.
Technician, a cleaning professional in 2023 is someone who goes in, cleans.
Yes. I'm not even going to look inside your cabinets. I want to get in and get out.
Right.
We're going to come in, get it done, get out that door, and get to the next one.
Right. So I think the word maid definitely, has its purpose maybe. But as far as today, I don't think there's too much, relevance to it. No. Besides the name of our podcast. Only maids is useful in those terms. But other than that, we are deciding, along with the rest of the cleaning community, we're deciding on everyone's behalf to throw the term away.
Yes.
Trash
it away.
No more maids.
Do not call us maids.
So if your housekeeper comes, you're upset, in a bad mood, please do not call her a maid.
No. Do not call her a maid.
Don't do that to her. She might take it the wrong way. She might not even mind. The problem is you never know.
She might bleach your carpet if you do that.
Right.
She might.
And that's the liability. You don't know how that word is going to make her or him feel. So just don't use it. We're cleaning professionals, cleaning technicians. What do you think about that?
I feel like a lot of the guys, like, now that we're in 2023, we do have a lot of men in the industry that are coming into the industry, and I have noticed, like, to, be called a cleaning technician. Mm-hmm. And so I know they don't want to be I guess to them it's a manly thing or something, but they don't want to be called a housekeeper or a house cleaner. Some of them do like cleaning professionals, but when you think about it, this is a man going into the house to do the work, which is largely associated with the woman. But he is really scrubbing your toilet showers, dusting your floors, dusting your ceiling fans. And a lot of them are very good at it.
Yes, they are.
But I still see them as a house cleaner. Mm-hmm. I see a cleaning technician as someone who goes in with commercial equipment to help clean your floors, carpets. Right.
That pops in my head too when I hear the term cleaning technician. I think of commercial immediately. You're absolutely right.
I feel like I need to go buy an expensive cleaning machine. Like if I were going to refer to myself as a cleaning technician, I would have like the best floor shiner.
Right. That's somebody who carries around a muffin or waxer.
Like you stand on it, it like wheels you around and everything. Like, woo.
A cleaning technician definitely has that in the back of their truck. A housekeeper might not.
No, I have a mop. I got a mop. Yes.
Right. But yeah, so the terms, that's interesting because, I mean, we're just talking about all of the terms or all of the titles in comparison to MAID. But actually, all of these terms kind of have different meanings in their own connotation.
They really do. Because they're not the same.
Cleaning technician, I feel like, is more male geared. You know what I'm saying? And commercial type cleaning geared. But your house cleaner is, I feel like that's all encompassing. I feel like everybody is included in the word house cleaner.
Yeah.
The male cleaners, the women cleaners, the old, the young, those who do a little bit more, those who
businesses, don't do as solos.
Much. Exactly. Yeah. And then you have your solo cleaners and you have your business owners. Some of them clean, some of them don't. What do you think about that?
I enjoy cleaning. To me, it's therapeutic. I like to see the transformation in people's homes. And I even like go to work and I come home and then I clean my house. And it's funny because like my guy will be like, why don't you clean our house the same way you clean other people's houses?
That is rude.
I'm like, well, because I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. And then also because I'm the same way. When you're cleaning your own, because I don't know how to turn it off.
Yes.
Because
off switch.
I love, cleaning is therapy. Like you said, cleaning is therapy for me. I think I come up with my best ideas and while I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
very
saying?
Creative.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I enjoy cleaning. So like you, after working a long day, I go home too also. And it subconsciously, start cleaning.
Yes, I know. Like I'll sit down and eat and, and maybe rest for like 30 minutes or so. And then I get up and it's like I start my daily chore task, right? Of what I need to do around the house to run my house. And then I find myself like, oh, there's, look, that baseboard is terrible. Like,
right.
And then I'm down there scrubbing it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? What's wrong with me?
It's so hard. There's nothing wrong with you. I don't want to believe there's anything wrong with us because I have the same experience. It's
like
so
I can't
hard
relax.
to turn it off.
Yeah.
It's so hard to turn it off, and, I don't like to use the word OCD loosely.
No.
But sometimes I feel like I am being controlled by some
type of other mental force subconsciously.
Yes.
Like I am sure like a mental health professional will probably hear this episode and be like, oh, well, you have blank cleaning disorder.
Right. And then also too, like, I feel like these types of disorders or habits can be created from the work that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some people, I've always been a cleaner. Even before I had a cleaning business.
Oh, I was too.
I would clean. It's ridiculously.
Girl, my first job was a cleaner.
Really?
I was a housekeeper, my very first job. And it was because I wanted to work so bad. So, I take that back. My first job was actually like mowing lawns when I was like I think 11. I started mowing yards. Yes. And I would like walk around my neighborhood I would just push my little lawnmower from door to door and knock on doors to see if anybody would let me mow their yard for $15.
Right.
And, but then actually I wanted to go to work, but nobody would hire me because I was only 15. And back in my day, you couldn't find a job at 15. Nobody would hire you. You had to be 16. So, interesting enough, I started talking to my mother's friends. Some of my mother's friends. And they were like, one person was like, well, I could use some help around the house if you want to come over on the weekend and, I'll pay you to clean my house. And it like one friend turned into another friend.
Nice.
And so, before I knew it, when I was 15, I had a Saturday job every weekend, and, but then, I turned 16 and got a job.
Hey, cleaning is a job, okay?
But I didn't look at it like that then,
I see a lot of time on social media, some younger people posting for cleanings and advertising that. And I think that's awesome. I often find myself, I'm not old, but I wish I started cleaning for money when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's an excellent hustle.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And I don't want to say it's easy work because it's not easy work.
It's not easy.
I don't know.
What do you find the hardest thing about it?
About cleaning, let me see. I know it does have a toll on you physically.
Right.
I had to start actually working out just to be able to keep up with my workload. You know what I'm saying? To have the physical capability to do so. So it's definitely don't want to undermine the physical aspect of it and the toll that it takes on your body. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, the most difficult thing at business wise or actual cleaning wise?
Either or. Like for me, I find like I try very hard. Like I don't like to macromanage people, right? But it's hard. Like when they're doing it completely the wrong way, and you don't want to I don't want to like step in and make them feel like they're not doing a good enough job or anything. This is like people that I work with directly or work with me in the company. I try to let people do it their way, but there are times that I'm just like, oh my God, she's using bleach on the wood table in the kitchen. Like, why are we washing that with bleach? Why you gotta stop? Those are the ones I'm like, no, stop! Don't use bleach on that.
Wow.
And I'm like, no, you can't clean the bathtub with Windex only.
Right.
But that's the hardest thing is like when I see someone else doing it, I don't know.
That ties into...
It's a hard control thing for me.
Yeah.
Is what I guess what I'm saying. When I see someone not doing it up to my standards or something, it's a very hard control.
For me, it's other than, like I said, we want to recognize the physicalness of the shop, but also expectations. I feel like expectations are something that I didn't know, but early on learned that I have to manage both my own, the clients, the cleaners that I'm working with. Everybody's expectations have to be aligned.
They aren't everybody,
and that's rare.
Clients,
and that's rare.
Yes, it is. And the clients I have learned, I clean at their expectation level. Because not everybody is going to be like, I don't know. I used to overdo it is what I did. I would go in and if the baseboards were dirty, I would clean them. If the cabinets were dirty, I'm cleaning them. Right?
Yeah.
So even though the client expects to do it, are they paying for the service? That's the difference.
Right.
Because I would catch myself doing stuff like that, even though they're not paying for it because I enjoyed it.
Right.
And I had to stop that.
I had to check myself on that too.
Yes. That is very difficult.
Yes.
And like all the door, like all the fingerprints on it, but are they paying me to wash their doors?
So you have to check that. Yeah. Can you imagine the expectations of the maid back then?
Oh gosh!
Oh my goodness! I feel for her. That's a lot of pressure.
I go back to the bedpan on that.
Right. Can you empty a bedpan wrong? What if she spilled something?
Some on the floor.
Right.
Then she got to mop it up too.
Yeah. See, and that's why we just are.
And then sometimes those people would throw the bedpans at the maids.
Right. So I mean, the expectations, all of that stuff for the poor maid was just unrealistic
because it was really like she did all of it,
everything. They
were not getting their hands dirty. They had to tighten that corset and look pretty.
Right. And then
they did.
Right. So we're thankful that we don't have to deal with
no bedpans
bedpans or that level of scrutiny and expectation.
Yes.
But speaking of the scrutiny is also something that you have to manage and deal with in this industry. I mean,
yes.
Service industry in general, those jobs are real hard because of exactly what I said, the feedback and scrutiny that you get from those. But ours in particular, I feel like our job is intended to scrutinize a little bit,
because some people will be like, what do you do for a living? Like, say you're out at dinner with, and you're meeting new friends or whatever, with a group of people, and they're like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I clean houses. And they're like, oh, like, right. How's that working? What they don't understand, it's not like just cleaning a house. We're actually running a business.
Right, exactly.
Most of business. Yeah. There are the people that just want to go in and clean houses, and there are others that, legitimately run a business doing it.
Right.
Doing so.
And all are to be respected. We have a spectrum, because there's the solo cleaners who just want to stay solo, and
that's what they enjoy.
They enjoy it, and I respect it fully. Yes. And then you have those like you and I who intend and want to grow.
Yes.
So and then there's a whole spectrum in between.
There's some days I still go solo because sometimes I just don't like people.
Right.
And I'll just tell my girls, like, here's your schedule for the day. Y'all go do this. But I know in the back of my head, I'm going to go do the houses I like that day by myself. I'm not taking none of y'all with me.
They're watching this, right?
Oh, Lord.
But yes, expectations. I was just going to say the expectations of not just the scrutiny from
other people,
others, but the scrutiny just in general. Day to day from the client on the job,
Yes.
I mean, it's only human nature, you know what I'm saying? If we came in to clean your house, of course I'm going to look around. So there's never any, no shade at all. But you have to learn how to process it all usually. Because if you get too much, I notice, especially some ladies that I've worked with, even if it's not necessarily negative feedback, the feedback in general, not all take well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hard. It's hard you have to learn how to take scrutiny and feedback doing what we do.
Yes. And I call it, like productive, criticism. Like there's nothing wrong with being told that you could do better.
Exactly.
There's constructive criticism. Right. That's what it is. Constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. And then some people take that they get butthurt over it.
They do. From my experience, the majority of people.
But I look at it like I'm human. I'm going to definitely like miss something, I mean, we're all human. We're not going to come in and make your house completely perfect. Mm-hmm. There's, I'm sure, as with most people who do clean, they miss something from time to time. It's going to happen, whether it be a streak on the mirror or like a crumb on the floor.
And I love those clients who recognize that and can give us grace when we're not on our A game.
And then what about the ones that don't give you grace and they send you all the pictures at 6 o'clock when they get home?
Yeah, see, and those
oh my goodness.
You get those. I've learned not to take it personal.
Back tomorrow.
Right. I've learned not to take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And I usually encourage in my business, I encourage feedback.
Let me know.
Because that's how you grow. That's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learned that's how I got where I am, by learning and correcting mistakes and things like that. Mm-hmm. But you definitely recognize when there's clients who are just nitpicking. And
they are. Those are usually the ones that, I don't know. Like I had, and I'm not kidding. I had this one lady, like I would clean her toilets and then she would go on there with her cell phone and flip the camera where it was facing up and use the camera under the rim.
Oh, wow.
And she would send me these pictures, like her toilet wasn't clean, right? And I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't see that because I don't stick my head in your toilet.
I stick my head in the toilet to clean.
As far as what I can tell, it looked clean from where I was like my point of view, but I didn't have a camera upside down in the toilet either.
Right.
Like, I'm so sorry. Like I'll try better next time, but
I've heard of the white glove.
Yeah,
clients going around with the white glove, doing all kind of things. And just quick disclaimer, we're not going to be client bashing on our podcast.
No,
we're just having open and free discussion about our experiences as house cleaners. We love all of our clients. We encourage them to even watch the podcast. So
I like my older people the best.
Okay.
I am an old person, like,
nice.
And these girls will laugh at me. They'll be like, my senior citizens are my older people. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, well, if if Miss Janet asked you to bury a dead body in the backyard, you'd ask her where the shovel was. And I was like, I probably would. Like, she'd be like, can you move this plant here and take these plants outside and bring these in? It's going to be cold tonight. I'm like, whatever you need. You just let me know.
Right. And I have clients that I absolutely adore just like that also. Yeah. And I feel like that's why, and good thing we're talking about the word maid and the distinction, but I feel like
I fall into some maid duties.
Right. Where maybe the lines get blurred when our feelings get involved.
Yeah, they do.
We turn more into a maid.
They really do.
But we have to keep that in check as well because, you know, like you said, we're running a business. At the end of the day, this is business. This is money. This is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not what it was. Don't need to be moving your
furniture for you, Miss Lady, but we're going to call her Miss Lady.
Relationships are definitely important. You must build those, but we have to stick to, you know, our scope of work initially. So, but yeah, so we're so excited about this.
We are excited about this new season.
This episode. Yes. Our first episode. And let me see here. What did we have? Oh, did you?
I did. The etymology.
Alrighty. And I think we have a viewer question.
We have a viewer listener mail is what we have coming up. So
it's time for Hotline Clean.
I'm from Nebraska coming in here called What is your favorite thing to clean? That's their question, Nikki.
Oh, my favorite thing. I think I mentioned I'm a duster. Okay. Dust. I love to dust. I love to polish. I love the transformation that it gives. You know, the ceiling fans. I've seen some crazy bad ceiling fans. And, you know, just dusting off. There's something so satisfying about just dusting off that first dust cloud. And
like that sandstorm.
Yeah, there's something so satisfying about that. I don't know what it is. But, and also polish. I absolutely love polish.
I do think
I love polishing things.
Yeah.
I've got my polishing game down.
There are some people that go and they just want to Swiffer everything.
No.
And I'm like, no, honey. It needs to be shiny.
Right. Like, well, you know, there are some, I've heard that there's some cleaners who charge for using polish.
Oh.
I don't knock it because things are expensive. But yes, I have heard about that.
Okay, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, they're charging for polish and things like that. But yes, so polishing is my absolute all-time favorite. What about you, Missy?
I like kitchens and bathrooms. I do. I think, you know, for me as a mom, those are like the most important areas in my house. And I like to cook and bake, and I am not going to do that in a dirty kitchen.
I heard that.
And my kids know that. Like, they grew up, like, knowing, like, when they got home from school, they need to get into that kitchen and help me get it tidied up and cleaned up. Because if I come home to a sink full of dirty dishes, guess who's not eating dinner? Because I'm not cooking.
Yes, ma'am.
You better get it in there, girls.
The kitchen, you know, I love the kitchen. It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
But bathrooms, showers, it's just so much work.
It is a lot of work. It's a
workout.
I do have an electric tool for that, though.
Excellent. I've tried using an electric drill and all that stuff like that, and I feel like it's just more of a hassle. So if I'm going to get down and dirty, I'm just going. I'm getting this workout in.
I do it on my initial cleans and like my move out cleans is where I mostly use it.
Really?
On my reoccurring ones, I don't carry it around.
Yeah. So awesome. This season on Only Maid's podcast, we have so much in store for you guys. We have some guests that we're going to be talking to, a few social media influencers in the cleaning industry.
We do. We have the ugliest maid coming up.
The ugliest cleaning lady.
The ugliest cleaning lady, not the maid. See, she is a cleaning lady, not a maid.
Right. We're throwing that word away. Remember? Just only for our purpose.
She threw it away. I reused it.
Yeah. Okay, we got her coming up, and we're going to be talking about everything. We're going to be talking about sexism in the industry.
Yes.
You know, we know a lot of male cleaners.
Clients' expectations.
Yes. We want to get everybody's perspective, client expectations. We're going to be talking about all kind of things, you guys. The coaching guru invasion.
Oh, yeah, the coach.
They're everywhere.
Are they scamming you, or do they really want to help you?
Are they scam, or
we're going to do the research for you.
And we're going to talk to one, at least one.
We are.
We're going to have come in and talk to us. So we are so excited, and thank you guys so much for joining us on this first episode. And make sure you follow, like, and subscribe all of our social media pages so you can keep up with everything that we're doing and everything we're working on.
Oh, and let's shout out to our sponsors here. We have Smart Business Commerce. You can always contact them for any kind of credit card processing or merchant services that you may need, whether it be in-store, online, over the phone. Just contact them for all of your credit card needs and custom docks and decks out in East Texas for any kind of retaining walls, boat decks, or anything like that you might need in your backyard.
Excellent. Oh, my ladies, we have Lavender Sky. They make the most beautiful waist beads. Beautiful waist beads. You guys have to check them out. Go to lavendersky.shop. The goal of Lavender Sky is to create an energy of love and acceptance that can be felt through the products that they make. So definitely go check them out, and you will be very happy. And you look beautiful.
I think they're great. I'm going to have to get
I have
one.
some. I'll bring them to the next episode, and we can show them off. All right. Thank you, guys.
Next time on Only Maids.
Next time on episode 2, we are going to have Clients Just Don't Understand with
the ugliest cleaning lady. You guys follow her on social media. I follow her on Instagram. She's hilarious. This podcast has been brought to you by Little Buddy Productions. Go to www.littlebuddyproductions.com for all your video production needs for your small business, nonprofit, or for event videography.